Emily and her father have an affluent life. They both reside in a large house. Emily is a dancer at a prestigious institution where she dances with her friends. Unbeknownst to her, her father has gone bankrupt and the house is about to go on sale. Emily wakes up in the morning after her alarm rings. She gets up and begins to stretch. Her routine involves making a healthy smoothie and then going out for a jog. Emily arrives at her dance institute and they dance. Bridget, the strict dance instructor, watches them as they dance to a routine. When the music stops, she begins to give her critique to the girls. She starts with Emily, asking about her score in dance. Emily responds that she got an A, and in response, Bridget answers that it is not enough to help her in auditions. Bridget goes on to criticize Vanessa and says that with her backside, she should consider pole dancing instead of dancing. She further criticizes Emily for her lack of expression. She reminds her that she has 2 jobs in dance, to express herself and tell a story. Emily decides to speak up for herself, stating that she did everything right. The other girls wonder why she is talking back. Bridget calls out another dancer, Ida, for not expressing herself too. Ida starts to cry and the instructor warns her that if she can't handle criticism, she should quit. Emily reveals to Bridget that she is only crying because her cat died. After a sigh, Bridget leaves but tells them to think over what has been said. She stops the class and leaves. Vanessa comments in a hushed tone that the problem is that Bridget hasn't gotten laid due to the frustrations. Emily quickly recognizes that Bridget isn't strict with Charlotte, who is an elite dancer and one of their friends. The girls meet up with their male friends. Axel, Emily's boyfriend, is among them. When they meet up, he kisses her and then asks about the dance class. The group goes out swimming in the lake where they have fun and make fun of each other. It's another dance practice where Bridget is with her former student. Bashir is also a dancer at the prestigious dance firm in Amsterdam. Bridget announces that one of the girls would have the opportunity to dance at his school. Bashir tells them that the opportunity would open doors for them. He would be back in a month to decide on the right one. The girls decide to practice in Charlotte's house, which is similar to Emily, but she has a dance room. The next morning, she speaks to her father. She whines that Charlotte has a dance room and she doesn't. She later asks if they could turn the basement into a dance room for her. Her father doesn't respond to anything she says, as he is trying to find the words to tell her the house is on sale. Emily practices her dancing on her own and struggles to get her steps. She later hosts her friends to swim at her place. Axel offers the girls champagne. Charlotte refuses it and says that she is training. Emily also says the same after noticing Charlotte's answer. Vanessa drinks it either way, saying drinking is part of her training. Emily's father shows up and asks them to leave because he has some business partners showing up. The friends decide to go to Axel's house. Emily wants to go but her father asks her to stay behind. After her friends leave, she confronts him for being rude and telling her friends to leave the house. She asks him about the contractor for the house. As he is about to answer, a lot of people arrive at her door. She begins to wonder what is going on. The National Collection Agency arrives to escort them out of the house. Emily's father tries to explain to them that he is expecting a loan and everything would be okay. They do not agree. Emily is led to her room by an officer. She tells her to only pack some items because the house is on sale. She wants to take her carrier jacket but the officer prohibits her from doing so. The trustee who's in charge of the house would decide what is on sale or not. While her father tries to fix things and make phone calls, she packs her belongings. Right after they vacate the house, the officers put a stamp on the door that reads sealed. During the ride out of the house, Emily asks her father if they can go to a hotel. He refuses because he knows how financially critical things are. They arrive at a motel in an unknown neighborhood. There is only one bed. Her father gives her the bedroom and he can sleep on the couch. Emily asks for an explanation concerning the house. He tells her of the liquidity problems. Although she believes that there are stocks to be sold and their situation may be rectified, he reminds her that he sold it all. The authorities have had their money for over 5 years. He assures her that everything will be okay despite the troubles. Emily wonders where she would dance as the motel is far from her dance institute. Her father suggests the living room and she gets upset. She calls out the tile floor and complains that dancers do not dance on floors like that. She rushes into the room. Axel tries to reach her, asking her if she is still coming over to his place. She lies to him that she had to help her father do something. She decides to hide her situation from her friends because she is ashamed. Emily misses practice. Ida texts her to ask about her whereabouts. Emily lies that she is ill. Ida mentions that she is halfway to the Netherlands, which makes Emily stand up. She doesn't want to miss out on the opportunity. It takes her a lot of time to get to the institute as she takes various buses. When she arrives, Bridget is going through a number with them. Emily apologizes for being late. Bridget instructs her to show the class last week's routine. Emily starts to dance, but fails miserably. She lies that she needs to warm up. She hopes to do it again but Bridget refuses. She asks Charlotte to show her the routine. Charlotte performs well and is applauded by Bridget. Emily gets back on the bus to go back to the motel. The motel has no food in the fridge. She checks on the internet for a studio to practice her dancing. She takes a bus to the studio and meets Michael, another dancer who is her age. He is stretching when she shows up. She later asks if she can train and he receives her with open arms. She begins to stretch while he does push-ups. Later, he watches her dance to a slow song. He decides to ask her about her routine, telling her to try something new. She agrees to it, so he shows her some hip-hop dance steps. Steve Martin, Bart Simpson, Running Man. It is completely different from what Bridget teaches her, so she finds it hard to keep him. He tells her that they should dance together. They stop when some students step in and he greets them. Michael's friend, Moa, introduces himself to her. A female dancer, Kim, asks if she is still dancing, but Emily lies that she is leaving. She compliments her hippie feather earrings. She notices that the dancers here are much freer and nicer than her friends. Before she has a chance to leave, Michael invites her out. He wants her to go to the Verdun at 9 p.m. She hesitates, but after much pressure from him, she agrees to it. Emily is back at her dance studio as they perform a number together. Bridget compliments them. Emily gets ready to go home, ignoring text messages from Axel. She decides to go out to Verdun. That is where the battle happens. Dancers are put against each other to fight, and the judges decide who the winner is. Michael tells her more about the freestyle competition and how they do not allow choreography like she usually does. Emily marvels at a girl dancing and is immediately intrigued. The host calls on Mia from Illicit, who goes against Alex. Alex tells her that oftentimes, during a battle, competitors try to psych themselves out or provoke each other, but it's just for the crowd to see. He lies to her that they stopped when someone got shot last week. She is genuinely concerned as a shocked expression comes up on her face, and he laughs, telling her that it is a joke. She asks him if he came to battle, but he answers that he came to watch someone else battle. Unknown to her, he has submitted her name to the host. When her name is called, she is immediately scared and shy. He promises her to have fun as she is on stage. She stands back as her opponent, Jojo, dances. It's her turn, so she dances. It's not according to the beat. She gets booed off the stage. Embarrassed, she runs out of the place. Michael follows her and apologizes to her. She cries that she shouldn't have gone to the stage. She goes home and cries. Axel tries to reach out to her, then she decides to return his calls. She apologizes to him for being distant. He tells her that he can never stay mad at her and invites her to go sailing with his friends. The next morning, she sees her father sleeping on the couch. He was trying to work and slept off. She tells him that she is going to sail with her friends. He reminds her to take a sailing jacket, which gets her upset. She snaps that she doesn't have any and castigates him for lying to her about the foreclosed house. She later leaves to hang out with her friends but is distant. They notice that she is freezing. She lies that she forgot her jacket at home. Axel tells her to get his mother's own. She goes to the cabin to get the jacket. She pulls out her phone after a notification comes in. Michael sends her a friend request and apologizes to her. He sends her audio to listen to it. Axel meets her in the cabin and kisses her. She is uncomfortable with being with him alone and wants to get back to the others. Michael texts her, asking her if she enjoyed the tune. She confirms the friend request. Her friends notice her looking at the phone and then ask her. She lies that it's her father. Axel takes her to a private place in the woods because he wants to be with her. He compliments her for being sexy when she dances. They begin to make out. She is uncomfortable as he kisses her neck. She stops him, telling him that others are waiting. He is worried that she is being distant, but he assures him that it is nothing. On the bus back home, Emily listens to the tune Michael sent to her. She goes back to dancing at his studio. Michael is excited to see her and apologizes to her for stepping out of the line. Another dancer of the crew, Josef, mocks her for her dance and Mikkel apologizes profusely again. She forgives him. The crew starts to dance to the Poison song. Michael invites her to dance, and even if she hesitates, she joins in. She watches them dance in awe. She joins them in dancing and everyone hypes her up. They finish dancing. Kim gives her the hippie earrings that she once said she loved. Later on, when others have left, Michael compliments her on dancing. They decide to dance slowly together. The next day, Emily wears the earrings to practice. When the group dances, Bridget keeps her eyes on Emily. She has improved so much. Bridget is not happy with their style and stops the music. She thinks that they are all dancing without expression. She calls for Charlotte, then stops her, stating that Emily should come forward. Emily dances for everyone to see. Charlotte watches her with envy. Bridget later commends Emily on her style. Vanessa notices her earrings and says it's not usually her style. Ida, on the other hand, likes it. Charlotte accuses Emily of getting a private coach because she has improved so much. The girls think she is hiding something, but she assures them that she is not. They ask about the summer party she plans to hold at her house. Emily tells them that there will still be a party no matter what. Ida notices something is wrong and asks her. In response, Emily gets upset and storms away. Emily ignores calls from Axel and goes to practice with Michael. Michael takes her to the roof that shows the entire city. She loves the neighborhood and the scenery. There, they share their first kiss. Emily tries to escape Axel after practice, but he catches her. He wants to take her on a ride and she refuses, stating that she has to practice at Charlotte's house. When he offers to drive her there, she gets upset. Emily flares up and complains that they are always together. She needs space away from him. This confirms that she is losing feelings for him. Emily feels guilty later on and texts Axel that they need to talk. Later at practice, Michael teaches her some hip-hop dance moves and they spend time together. He is also helping her with her dancing. At the Dance Institute, Charlotte gets jealous when Emily is brought to the front. Bridget later stops and tells Charlotte to go to the back of the line. Charlotte gets upset that she is no longer favored and Emily is now the best. She gets upset, throws her bottle to the ground, and leaves the practice. Bridget calls her a drama queen and tells the girls to continue dancing. After practice, the girls check on Charlotte in the dancing room. Charlotte goes through Emily's phone and asks her about Michael. She thinks he is a private coach for her. Emily tries to explain herself, but Charlotte tells her that she shared her home studio with her and wonders why she should have a private coach. Emily fights back and tells Charlotte that she is upset only because she is no longer the best. She also says that Charlotte bosses them around. Charlotte gets upset and leaves the dressing room. Back at the studio, Michael informs Emily of the battle next month and asks her if he would dance with her. She agrees to it and they fill out the form with their names. He likes her. They begin to kiss. They are distracted by her phone call. Axel calls her multiple times. She ignores him but later picks up when she finds out that he knows of her housing situation. She lies to Michael that she had to stay with her father. Emily meets up with Axel at the cafe to explain everything. She tells him that is only temporary. He is shocked that she hasn't told anyone. He asks about the infamous summer party, and she asks if they can have it at his house instead. He agrees to it. They hold hands, and he later asks her to be honest with him and to stop hiding things from him. She is bothered because she is hiding things from him. They hug and rekindle their relationship, even if she knows she doesn't love him. Michael texts her if she wants to dance with him and she ignores him. Emily and Ida go shopping for the party. She notices Michael coming and hides in another store because she doesn't want to see him. She checks at the window, hoping to see him walk away. Unknown to her, Michael already enters the store and sends a picture of herself to him. He comes out from hiding and says hi to her. Emily is confused about what to do and she acts weird. She tells him that she has things to do and would call him later. Emily leaves in a hurry with Ida, who is confused. Maya later lies that there are housekeepers. Michael thinks that there is something up with her, so he texts her to talk. She lies to him that she can't dance because she has her period. Emily spends time with Axel at the institute. Ida tells her to apologize to Charlotte for calling her bossy. Emily refuses to do so, and Ida notices that there is something off with Emily, and that she is hiding something. Emily keeps ignoring Michael and prepares to go for the summer party at Axel's. When she steps out, she sees Michael. He quickly realizes that she is going to a party. She apologizes for ignoring him, but she is just too busy. Michael notices that her ignoring him is just a tactic. She wants to break up with him. He stops her, saying that they were just a game. She agrees to it being a game and leaves him upset. The party starts with the girls dancing and drinking. Emily is disconnected from the party and wonders what Michael may be thinking about her. She tries to talk to Axel about the relationship with Michael. Axel ignores her. Charlotte gets drunk and calls Emily out for not being a good friend. She is upset that Emily may get the opportunity to dance in Netherals. Axel stops her from trying to hit Emily. He ushers her out of the party. Michael shows up at the party because he found her location. She unknowingly tagged everyone in the photo she took with her friends. Axel asks about Michael. Ida answers that he is the house cleaner. Michael confronts her for double dating and he tells everyone that he and Emily hooked up over the summer. Michael is upset that he used her. He castigates her for not knowing who she is. She tries to explain, but he tells her to leave him alone. After he leaves, she wants to explain to Axel, but he kicks her out of his house. Emily is upset that no one wants to listen to her. She walks back home, crying. Her father meets her and hugs her. She tries to call Michael, but it goes to voicemail. Her father tries to get a new job. Michael removes her name from the battle. She goes back to class, but no one speaks to her. Bridget sees that she is lagging and calls her aside. Emily cries out that she lost her friends and home. She is told to use it to her advantage and show her emotions through dancing. She jogs around the area while Michael practices for the battle. The audition starts with the girls called out to dance. Bridget and Basher judge their dancing. Charlotte is panicking as Vanessa dances. Charlotte is called upon, and she begins to dance. Emily is called and it seems that she is doing well until she trips and falls. They ask whether she is okay. Bridget tells her to try from the top, but she refuses. Emily realizes that she doesn't belong in the group and leaves the audition. She walks back to Verdun for the battle to apologize to Michael. It appears that the crew put Michael and Emily against each other so that they can sort out their issues. He tries to refuse, but the crew pushes him. When he gets on stage, Emily asks him if he got her voicemail and he says no. She calls him out for not listening to her. He tells her that he doesn't want anything to do with her. The first round starts with both of them dancing to hip-hop songs. They start to dance together. Ida tells her to show him as she feels. A slow song starts and she starts to dance slowly. The audience applauds her and he joins in, dancing with her. The judges announce that it's a tie, so they have to dance again. Emily apologizes to Michael and asks him for another chance. During the last round, they start to dance together. He kisses her in the midst of their competition. They make up. The battle ends with both of them in a tie. Later on, they all dance together.